Hello and welcome. My name is Kubeir. Well, I have some concerning matters to discuss today. I'm going to talk to you about misrepresentation, procedural fairness letters that have been sent out in hundreds over the last week. And this is going out to the international student community. The problem is that a lot of you are using the so-called immigration consultants who are really not consultants, but simply agents or people who are providing or rather should be providing only education or facility or rather helping you or facilitating your education to the colleges, but they are going ahead and they are submitting your applications as well. They cannot do that. Agents or the education agents that most of them probably they spread across everywhere, right? So they spread across India, they spread across Middle East, they're in Dubai, they're everywhere, and they are not licensed, they are not legally allowed to submit an application on your behalf, but they do it anyways. So what has happened now is IRCC, with the use of their artificial intelligence, is now able to identify multiple applications being submitted from the same location, and they have identified that these are possibly illegal agents who have not been disclosed in the applications, and people have been receiving these PFLs. I have highlighted this here, and if you can see this paragraph, it says, specifically, I have concerns that you have withheld material information in your application, which may make you inadmissible for misrepresentation. Specifically, you were sent a letter on so-and-so days requesting you to confirm whether you have used a designated individual or representative and for you to provide a 5476 form. In your response, you did not declare the use of any representative. Your application, however, reflects that on the balance of probabilities, you did use or you are using a representative. This is important because it diminishes the overall credibility of your application and the credibility of the information provided. Therefore, it will impact your eligibility into the study program. Now, as I said, this is very, very serious. So what's going to happen now here is these agents, these consultants are not even informing the students about this. Now, this particular PFL that I'm showing to you was shared by one of the candidates who have received the PFL. And the agent has simply just raised their hands and said, listen, go and deal with it yourself. We can't help you with this. I mean, what is a student going to do in such a situation, right? So there is obviously no apologizing. You cannot go back to IRCC and say, listen, I'm sorry, I did not know whether that agent or that consultant was licensed or not. There is that kind of answer is usually not acceptable. Even if you were to challenge it in the federal court, it is considered as your mistake. You should be knowing what is going on in your application. You cannot simply say that the consultant did what they were going to do and you have no clue what was happening with your application. It is not acceptable. So the result for something like this, when you use an illegal agent, illegal consultant, is that your application definitely is going to be refused. You will also be given a ban of 5 years because that is what you get for misrepresentation. This is again what is on your screen. This is what you will get, 5 years misrepresentation ban. And obviously with this ban, you will not be able to apply again to Canada. That's number one. And the chances are, because it will remain in your immigration record and the fact that this information is shared with other countries as well, you will also have difficulty getting a visa to a different country, which basically shares information with Canada. Now, this was one PFL. And then the next one that I want to share with you is also, again, because of using these kind of consultants. In this case, what has happened is, specifically, I have concerns that you may be inadmissible for misrepresentation. Why? Because I've redacted the bank's name. The bank statement that you have submitted in support of your application was verified and confirmed to be fraudulent. So what has happened is here the student has basically trusted the education agent or consultant to submit their application. They have trusted them with the file, with the documents, and the agent in their better wisdom, that you would want to call it in a very sarcastic manner, they have used a fraudulent or a fake or a photoshopped bank statement on behalf of the student and submitted that. And IRCC has verified it with the bank and found out that that statement or the bank statement is forged, it's fraudulent. And now with this forgery, with this fraudulence, this student is going to get a ban of 5 years. Okay. And because again, there is no appealing this, there is no explain. How do you explain this? How do you tell IRCC, oops, I'm sorry, I gave you a fake bank statement? I mean, how do you justify that? How do you explain that? There is no getting out of this. This is where everything is lost. Okay. And these are students who probably didn't even know what is happening with their application. These are students who probably didn't even know better, and now because of this mess, they again would get banned for 5 years, and probably are going to face difficulty getting visas again to, or rather temporary visas to most of the countries, including Canada, US, Australia, etc. as well. So do you understand that these things that you're doing using these agents and consultants who basically do not understand what is going on, they don't understand the technicalities, they don't understand that by using these fake documents, they are jeopardizing your application, jeopardizing your future, and yet they continue to do it because it doesn't make any difference to them. Now, when I was discussing this situation with the student, and they said, well, they assumed that the consultant is licensed. That's what they thought, and that the consultant has such a good track record. They assume that the consultant knew better. Well, as far as the track record is concerned, let me just explain that to you. No consultant or no agent or no lawyer is going to talk about their refusals. Okay. Or rather, most of them will not advertise about their. Everybody comes and says, this student, we got this student the approval, we got this student the approval, these many students, these many passports, we have got all of them approvals, come to us, we know how to get this done. Nobody shows you the refusals. Nobody talks to you about this mess that they have created for their students, right? So what happens is, it's a law of averages. Let me explain that to you. If you submit 100 applications, 50, even if you go with a basic average of 50-50, 50 will get approved. Not because you as an agent or a consultant did anything miraculous or brilliant in that, just simply because by law of averages, 50 profiles are going to be good enough to get through the whole process, and they would get their study permit. But you as an agent are now broadcasting this, advertising this, marketing this, trying to show the whole world, listen, I got 50 students their approval. While you're not telling the people is that you have 50 students who did not get through, and they probably are now also got a PFL, they're also got refusals, they also got misrepresentation bans, all because you did what you had to do. So taking the credit for the profile of the student, that doesn't make sense, right? But people get fooled, and as we keep saying, jago jago, or be smart, be a smart customer. I mean, people research so much when they're buying a mobile phone, when they're buying a television, when they want to sort of buy a sofa in their house, or they want to do this basic, you have cough and you go onto Google and you try to figure out why you have cough, and you sort of try to self-medicate. But when you're trying to do such an important aspect for your life, when you're trying to sort of file a PR application, when you're trying to file a study permit application, you don't basically do this basic research, which is going to have such a severe impact in your future. Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but that is the reality. Canada did break an all-time record, which was set in 2019, when they have issued 450,000 new study permits, and this is a staggering number. The previous number was, or rather the previous big number was for the month of, or rather for 2019, when they had issued nearly 400,000 study permits. And then for 2020, the 2020 and 2020, the number really sort of took a nosedive, obviously because of the COVID pandemic. And now in 2021, they have again shot up and issued 450,000. That's a staggering number. Now, keep in mind, these are all prospective CEC or PNP applicants. So you can see, as we move forward, as we go forward in future, the competition is even going to go, it's going to get more and more and more dense there. It's going to get more challenging. It's going to get more difficult, even with CEC. So people who are within the CEC categories, people who are within the Canadian Experience Class categories, who are thinking, well, it's all easy. You come to Canada as a student, it's going to be easy. Well, this tells you that there is going to be a lot of competition ahead. 450,000 international students is a big number. Majority of them would want to make Canada their home. They would want to sort of settle down in Canada at some point of time. And with all these people, obviously, there will be a lot of pressure on CEC draws. and also the PNP draws. Now, we all know PNPs already target people who are already inside Canada, living in their province, working in their province, who have studied in their province. There are so many provinces who give so many of these benefits or advantages to people who have been studying, working, living in their province. So these number of students, you can expect that this competition is going to heat up as we move forward. Something to look forward to there. If you are not following us on Instagram, then please do. That is the link. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please hit on the subscribe button. Let's see those numbers going up. Please stay safe, take care, and we will see you soon next time. Thank you so much.